as we see the starting lineups just ready to get going on the field here. Aliso Niguel coming up against this El Toro team that's doing pretty good this year overall, 15-5, coached by Mr. Chris Lee. Aliso Niguel definitely in for a challenge tonight, as this is one of the very first Seaview games that are going to be played this season. One of the handful that are at home for Aliso Niguel's boys volleyball team. We'll be trying to make it to each one of those home games, but still uncertain about a couple of them. We'll keep you up to date. If you were tuning in tonight to check out the live stream of the lacrosse game tonight, that's at home. Unfortunately, we will not be there tonight. Then that game should have already been underway up at the field. As we're still waiting to get underway here, I'd like to introduce my broadcast partner tonight, Mr. Nick Vincent. Welcome. Thank you for being with us, Nick, and glad to have you.
Thanks, Kaard. Great to be commentating with part of the ANSN crew as the game gets underway right now. And number 22, Andrew McKellips tries to make a dig, but point for Aliso.
Nice spike there by Kaard, number 7, the senior. Kaard didn't know if he was going to continue playing this season after basketball ended, but stuck with it here and is now continuing to contribute. That was a nice block there by Christian Plummer, saved by Matt Holy, and set up again for Christian Plummer, who didn't like it and just knocked it back over the net.
It's a point for
Aliso Niguel, looks like.
Point, yeah.
A little confusion there with the side judge, but it was ruled to be out of bounds, so Aliso Niguel will keep the ball. Matt Holy, number 6, the senior, will serve it, and he will knock it into the net. So El Toro gets served back here. Now being an El Toro point there, as Aliso could not block that one back over the net, and we already have a tie game, 2-2. As promised, both these teams doing pretty well this year. Aliso Niguel, maybe a little bit of a rebuilding year, if you will. Again, last year they went to quarterfinals in CIF, as Christian Plummer airmails that one out of the end line on that one. Again, last year went to quarterfinals in CIF. Enjoyed a great run, however, and were helped out by senior leaders such as Greg Williams and Connor Reynolds.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Aliso team won't have those seniors to play with them this year as leaders of the team, but we have a great, talented Aliso team for the volleyball, men's volleyball, as El Toro serves. And blocked by number 27, Jacob Troik.
Nice play by Troik there, as Aliso Niguel couldn't recover. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Although we did lose a lot of seniors, Aliso Niguel still has a lot of players returning this year that saw ample time on varsity, such as Billy, Matt Holy, Christian Plummer, and Kaard, to name a few. And Aliso Niguel will get that point there, is down 3-5. Joey Zambrano, number 1, will be back to serve. First year on varsity for Joey. They serve out of bounds. Interesting that Aliso Niguel already losing 2 points on serves, Nick.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of the serve opportunities. They can't be they need to hit them inbounds. That should be easy points for them.
The nice directed spike there from Christian Plummer. El Toro unable to keep that one in play, as Billy Crow will have the serve. That one out of bounds and over towards our table.
Another serve from Aliso Miguel, number 8.
Nice job by Christian Plummer there, elevating and getting the block. El Toro not quite as tall as Aliso Miguel over its front line.
Yeah, I noticed that Aliso Miguel outsizes El Toro, but the one person on El Toro that stuck out to me was Jacob Troik. He just towers over everybody on either side, and he's definitely going to be a factor in this game.
Yeah, Jacob, number 27. He'll be checking in right now, and yeah, absolutely, definitely the tallest one on the floor. Or excuse me, he will not check in right now. Just stood up, gives him high fives, share the love. As Christian Plummer will have the serve. And he stepped on the line right there, and that will be a point for El Toro.
Another lost point from Aliso on a serve. That's going to kill Aliso in this game. They need to stop making silly mistakes like that and make a routine serve.
Aliso Miguel lucky that they're only down 2, already giving away 3 points on the serve. As Matt Holy will set that one up for Chandler. And Chandler Latin will win that ball for Aliso as that one's tipped out of bounds on El Toro. Latin will take the serve. And that's number 22 for El Toro, Andrew McKellips, the senior captain at 6'3", making the emphatic spike there. Aliso Miguel not able to recover that one.
El Toro has both of their captains in right now, Andrew McKellips and Nick Boyd. And here's a serve from Andrew McKellips.
That one's set to Anise Cater, and Anise Cater will throw that one down with authority. Anise working on the outside and getting an excellent setup. Sorry about that one, folks. I don't quite know what happened there. We lost our audio signal for a minute. We're back online here as number 22 McCullough will sail that one out of bounds, and Aliso Miguel is now tied with El Toro. We're at 10-10 right now in the first period.
Aliso Miguel doing a great job coming back, cutting that 2-point deficit. Oh, excuse me, they're losing by 1. 10-11 is the score right now.
As a net violation will be called there. That'll be number 11, Patrick McKellips, the sophomore, the little brother of Andrew. And he will be over the net on that one. Aliso Miguel gets a free point.
Great dig by El Toro number 11, Patrick McKellips. But sails out of bounds, and Aliso point. They're up by 1, 12-11.
Anise Kader with the serve. Anise just tossing it over, not. Billy with the nice diving save on that one. Chandler Latin back over the net. As Christian Plummer will block that one away. Billy trying to dig that one, but unable to keep it in play, and El Toro will get the point.
A lot of great blocks in that rally for Aliso, but unfortunately they couldn't hold out on that spike, and this saves were by number 4, and there was some confusion. Looked like Christian Plummer wanted a foul on one of the spikes, but he did not get it.
Matt Holley will set Christian up there, who lightly tap it. Other side to Chandler Latin, and an excellent block there by number 2, Nick Boyd, the other El Toro captain, and he's going to go unable to recover the ricochet. Still a close game there here, Nick. However, El Toro only up by 1, 13-12 right now.
Yeah, I'm guessing that, I'm predicting that this is going to be a close set of games we have ahead of us right now. Both teams seem to be pretty evenly matched and having some great rallies as El Toro gets that point as well right now, and it's going to be a serve by number 11, Patrick McKellips.
Quality serve there that Joyce Zambrano digs out to Chandler Latin, and that time Nick Boyd unable to deflect that one back over, and Aliso Niguel will get the point. Chandler Latin really showing some athleticism on the outside, being able to really elevate and be able to get those balls over the net, as Billy will serve that one, and his serve will be inbounds. Nice serve by Billy Crow there, as that one looked like it might have been out of bounds, and El Toro let it go and stayed in.
Let's see if he can repeat that and do it again this time.
Billy has been a constant asset to this varsity team, played a huge role last year, the libero of this team. Unable to get to that one, however, as Jacob Trock will knock that one down. And as you mentioned earlier, Nick, Jacob Trock at 6'10", really playing a huge role here, as that size Aliso cannot match. The tallest player in Aliso, Christian Plummer, is at about 6'6". As Chandler Latin elevates again, is able to knock that one down to the middle.
Aliso evens the score again, 15-15 right now, as we wait for the serve from Christian Plummer.
Christian Plummer trying to make up from his first serve that didn't really make it in. That time we'll not elect to do a jump serve, we'll just do a regular one. As that one sails in and right at us.
It's a great spike by El Toro. Even Kaard and I can agree that that was very coming right at us really hard. Pretty hard for Aliso to defend.
Yeah, of course, we're in a different spot of the gym today than we usually would be. Last year, if you remember, we would broadcast from that little inlet in the stands there, as Chandler Latin gets another kill. Really nice job by Chandler Latin today, doing a great job.
He's been a great contributor in this game right now for Aliso, along with a lot of the other people, but he's been sticking out from the Aliso side, and
great dig right there as well, as he was just able to knock that one up and hits the roof and drops right back down on right inside the line there, as you saw Anise Kader try to go up for it and took an awkward landing, but he's up and okay. No worse for wear, as El Toro will lose a point on the serve. That's McKellips saying it into the net. So you see we're at a tie game now, 17-17. Again, very competitive, as you were saying. Lisa Miguel or El Toro, neither able to really pull away here, and that serve sails.
Yeah, as we're nearing the end of this set, or this game, it's been pretty clear that these teams are going to even out each other. If one team gets on a little rally, the other team's going to come right back and even the score right up.
Elise Kader comes up a little gingerly after that one, shaking out his knee. Hope he's okay. Maybe showing some ill affection on that fall earlier, but he stays in.
Hopefully it doesn't affect his playing ability the rest of this game.
And that one lands inbounds. So Aliso Nagel with the point as Christian Plummer checks back in for Sam Donnelly. And Matt Holy will have the serve. And just lofted over the net for Aliso. And an awkward exchange there. Aliso able to get it over the net. Matt Holy with the dig, and Billy will set it for Anise Kader. Anise will loft it higher. Back to the other side, and that one way out there is Christian Plummer able to get his hands up and affect that one. So again, tied at 19 here in the first period.
Matt Holy serves, and there's going to be a set and a spike, but blocked by Christian Plummer. Point for Aliso, 20-19.
And that's Aliso Nigel's strategy there, as Christian Plummer will try to line up against the best striker from El Toro and really use his size and his length to his advantage. That time Christian will set it, Matt will dig it out, and Anise will just loft it back over. Chandler with the great save there, back to Anise. Anise taps it over. Nice rally going on here. Aliso Nagel not able to save that one, however, as both Anise Kader and Matt Holy going for it. Neither able to get there.
Great effort by both of them trying to save the point, but unfortunately they didn't make it just in time. So the score will be now 20-20, nearing the score limit of 25. Let's see if they have to go past 25 to win by 2.
And looks like that one will be inbounds. Nice job there from Aliso, taking the 1-point lead, 21-20. And yeah, just as you mentioned, just in your, maybe your pickup ping pong game that you might play at home, if you get to the score, you got to win by 2. Same thing here for volleyball. See a lot of matches come down to that last year. As this one looks to be just as competitive. El Toro again at 15-5. That one will be tipped off Aliso and land out of bounds, so El Toro getting the point, and if we continue to go back and forth. Patrick McKellips will line up to serve for El Toro. Billy will be on the end of it.
Blocked by number 27, Jacob Trock, another big block, big play for him. He is just being a monster, blocking and spiking the ball. Great asset for the El Toro team.
Chandler Latin trying to save that one off the side of the net, but unable to. And El Toro taking the lead now as we continue to serve here, and a net violation will be called on Christian Plummer. Point going to El Toro.
Christian Plummer seems to disagree. He's getting a little upset.
Not happy with that decision there by the referee. Is giving El Toro 2-point advantage here, not helping Aliso. Nice little flick across. Responded, however, by Aliso. And that'll be touched twice by Jacob Trock, so a Wolverine point there. Seen a couple of kind of sloppy plays from both teams the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, you have to wonder how the outcome would come out if these teams just played like they should and not make silly mistakes.
As Billy will serve it over. And it looks like I'll go right through Christian Plummer's arms and land in bounds. So El Toro taking the point, and it is game serve here as Aliso Nagel 22, El Toro 24. This would be tough on Aliso if they lost this one here, Nick, after battling this whole way. Come up a little bit short, and they're going to have to hang on here at each serve to continue to stay in this one.
Absolutely. They really need to win the first game to get their momentum going. they would have to win the next game to win this set of 3. They don't want that pressure on them, and it would be and they bring Jacob Trock in to serve. Let's see how good he is in the back.
Looks like we're having some substitution from El Toro, but timeout will be called. Looks like Coach Lee is having some words with the ref about some confusion. So we have a minute timeout here, a minute break.
Aliso coach Don Pedro talking to the team, trying to get a strategy going. Great job by Aliso in a sense that putting all their energy out and getting their digs on the balls. But they need to stop making silly mistakes, and so does El Toro as well. I mean, that's why it's such a close game right now, and it could be much bigger deficit if it wasn't.
Absolutely, really uncharacteristic from both teams. A lot of balls just hit into the net and then airmailed out of bounds on serves, and just mistakes that you wouldn't think that would be happening at this point in the game, but maybe just a little bit of pregame nerves. Again, this is one of the first matches of CV League this year, as it looks like we're just about ready to get back underway here after Coach Lee has worked it out with the referee. Still having a discussion, however, so.
Yeah, there's been some animosity between the coaches and the players with that referee, especially with Christian Plummer. There's been, as he is right now, having a discussion with him as Coach Lee walks back to the sidelines, and seems that El Toro team is going to have another timeout right now.
So some confusion here as we wait to see what's happening, but in the meantime, Nick, pretty solid performance from Chandler Latin so far, who for Aliso Niguel really been able to impress everyone, really just getting some great height on those set balls and really able to knock some home for Aliso. Really the reason why in this first period that Aliso Niguel stayed in it, single-handedly scoring a ton of points so far. Yeah,
Chandler Latin is definitely the biggest factor for Aliso right now, and they're staying in this game. If it weren't for him, they'd definitely be losing by a lot more right now.
Yeah, you'd like to see some more contributions from Christian Plummer and Anise Cater with a couple more kills, but so far everything's been going through Chandler and really working out pretty good for the Wolverines as well, as we're only in the first game, so still a lot more to go to see who will continue to step up throughout this game, and obviously really close, really hotly contested here so far, as it looks like we're finally able to get underway here.
Going back to what you said earlier, Kaard, about Christian Plummer and Anise Cater stepping up, they're supposed to be the leaders of this team, so they need to contribute more, absolutely, to Aliso's scoring, and not just leave it all to Chandler Latin.
You have to wonder if maybe Anise's knee is still affecting him. Remember, he took an awkward spill a while back, maybe midway through the first period, where he was going up for a ball and wasn't able to land, probably kind of took a spill there.
Absolutely, he's on the bench right now, so you have to wonder if that is Coach Don Pedro or one of the coach's decisions.
And there's Chandler Latin once again with the monster kill there on the outside, bringing Aliso Niguel within one, and more importantly, getting the serve here, and the serve going to Christian Plummer. Really a serve here that he's going to have to execute. He'll probably just knock it over the net and play it safe. And he does. As Billy will try to get it and unable to keep it in bounds. And that will be the end of the first period. Aliso Niguel losing 25-23 to be down 1-0 in the match. As we switch sides.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's bad momentum for Aliso. We need to. They need to really step it up this next period. Stop making bad mistakes, like we said before. Muffing up on serves and hitting it into the net is just not possible.
And there were at least 3 serves that went directly into the net, and if Aliso got those back, then who knows, maybe they would have won that game. Lost it 25-23, pretty close, obviously, for Aliso. So what do you think that Aliso has to improve upon here in the next game, the next period, to be able to pull it out and pull back even with El Toro?
Well, I think that the leaders of the Aliso team just need to step up, like I said before. They need to, they just can't have it all lay on Chandler Latin to score their points. It's a team sport. There's so many people playing at the same time. They need to work together and just communicate better and use more teamwork. I mean, 2-point deficit, definitely not going to be a sweep in this one if you look at it that way. It's a really close game, the first game.
And El Toro, on the other hand, also making their fair share of mistakes, but also having some great play from Captain Andrew McPhillips and, of course, Jacob Truck, the 6'10" senior, really dominating the net. Really, Aliso and Go, when they've tried to attack him, haven't been able to have any success. So I'm sure Coach John Pedro is talking to Aliso and Go players and just saying, like, hey, let's run some more offense, let's get some more formations going, let's get some more plays going. Try to move the ball around a little bit and try to find those other players on the outside that are able to kill the ball more effectively. Again, El Toro, really not a big, imposing team. Like, reminds me of Corona Del Mar last year, where Aliso and Go lost in the quarterfinal. And Corona Del Mar just had about a couple, like 3 or 4 6'10" guys, and Aliso and Go really not able to get anything over the net. Not the case here today against El Toro, as we still have a minute to go until we officially start the second period.
Aliso's team about to go and get onto the court as El Toro's team is already ready. We have 45 seconds left. Hopefully the coaches were able to get a message to the Aliso kids to not put all the burden on one person to score all their points as we are ready to start, and it'll sure be a close game this time too, hopefully.
See if either team were able to kind of get the jitters out of their system and play a little bit more effectively, a little bit more smart. We're still waiting for everything to get set, as the second period will get underway. Matt Hawley will be serving. That's a nice block there. Jacob Chalk unable to get a shot off, and Aliso and Go getting off to a nice defensive start.
A great block by number 4 as Matt Hawley gets another serve to go.
That'll be set to number 10, Brett Kerbo on the outside, and he hits it into the net, so Aliso getting a couple free easy points early. Interesting part about the JV game, Nick, that we were here to see earlier, that the first period, Aliso and Go won with a 15-point lead, and the second period they lost by 20, so of course that doesn't work the same at the varsity level, but it's really interesting how one game, one team can come out completely flat and uninterested. Not that either of these teams did, but as we've seen here, Aliso and Go coming out strong in the second period. It's just a new start.
Right, and the Aliso and Go JV ended up losing the third game as well, so El Toro JV got the win. So let's see if Aliso and Go can mirror that in a way that they can come out with a win with a loss in the first game.
And number 19, Cole Dispaltro, getting an earful from Coach Lee on El Toro's side, as they've given up 4 straight points here. Make that 5 straight points, as Chalk unable to do anything with that one. Coach Lee understandably upset. El Toro coming out really sloppy here. And Matt Hawley continuing to serve. Christian Plummer getting a hand on that one. Billy will dig it out. Over to Anise Cater. Anise Cater's shot is blocked by Trock. Back to Cater. We'll be back over to Aliso. And that'll be a foul on Nick Boyd, who used too much palm there. That foul was called, and El Toro already down 6-0 in the second period. Great start for Aliso Niguel, just what they needed after losing that close one.
Absolutely. This is exactly what Aliso needed after a loss in the first game. They needed some momentum to score some points and some enthusiasm on their side, and they're definitely getting that right now.
That kill by Trock was also needed, as Trock able to rise up and finally get a point on the board for El Toro, win serve back. As number 6, Kyle Hardy, will serve it over. Set from Matt Holley, and East Cater with the spike hitting off the top of the net, barely saved from El Toro. Back over to Aliso's side. Christian Plummer will have it. Waiting for the ruling, and it was ruled inbounds. Nice job by Christian Plummer.
That was a great spike. It was right on the line, apparently, because there was some confusion with the officials, but it was a great position. Served by Anise Cater. Spiked by Jacob Trock, number 27.
I'm surprised Trock hasn't really emerged with any more force here with such a height advantage at 6'10", and obviously a bigger wingspan. You think that he'd be able to score at will on this Aliso team, but so far Aliso has done a pretty good job of shutting him down, and also I think El Toro really hasn't done a good job of setting him up so far.
Absolutely. It needs to be from both ends. Their setters need to do a better job in getting the ball towards his position, and I don't think they've been doing enough of that during the game.
As Dispalatro hits it into the net. Another sloppy play from El Toro that time. That was an excellent spike by McKellips. Able to get an angle and get it by Christian Plummer. Toro struggling to get anything going.
Yeah, they are down by 3 points right now. No, 5 points, excuse me. It is 8-3. It's a spike by Christian Plummer, and point for El Toro as he's trying to save, but wasn't able to get over the net.
Billy Crow almost getting there, but looks like the ball was ruled to have hit the floor before it got onto the top of his hand. Nice effort, however. Nice job by Aliso Niguel to keeping that one play there after the block from Lane. Nice save from Joey Zambrano. Back over to Chandler Latin. And one of the rare mistakes from Latin so far this game has been singing his praises so far throughout. So that time unable to execute. And El Toro coming back here a little bit, now cutting it down to 3. The score 8-5. As Maroon will serve for El Toro. Over to Latin, and nice play from Chandler Latin. Really a poor set for him as that ball was completely out of bounds and he was set up to hit it, but able to get a good angle on it and get it over the net.
He had to hit that with his left hand. So yeah, at least needs to have better sets for their spikers, and that was definitely not one of them.
As Christian Plummer will serve here for Aliso Niguel. Great job there as he was able to let that one just die right on the line there. Number 17, Nick Maroon, unable to keep that one in.
I'm seeing an improvement with Christian Plummer's spikes, through the game.
That one kept in from El Toro. Back over to Chandler Latin. He'll get it back here. Nice job by number 5, J.J. Labatten, keeping that one in. As Aliso continues to rally here, stuffed by Spencer Lane. Latin again, and this time he'll get the point as that one ricochets off Spencer Lane's fingers into the crowd. Christian Plummer continuing to serve here. Another nice one as he gets it over the net. Matt Holy will set it again for Chandler. This time Chandler lofts it into the middle, picked up by Maroon. Back to Latin once again. This time he spikes it down, but a net violation as his hand comes down across the top of the netting. And El Toro will get the point. However, Aliso Niguel still up 11-6. And Nick, we completely saw Aliso's offense running through Chandler Latin that entire time and continuing to come up big for Aliso here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been doing a great job. Besides that net violation, he's been still been an important factor in this second game, scoring many points for Aliso as well.
As Billy does an excellent job keeping that one in play. Matt Holy keeping it back over to El Toro. Another excellent save. Billy Crow having a great possession here as Chandler Latin will set it back to Holy, back to Latin. And this time Chandler's spike is way out of bounds that time, unable to get an ankle on it.
That was an amazing rally by both teams. Many great saves, and what should have been a point for either team was saved.
So Boyd here will serve. And that serve will be out a little bit wide, so Aliso Niguel getting the point.
Score is 12-7 Aliso, still have a 5-point lead.
Nice dig there from Maroon. But the ball will be ruled to have hit the floor over there on Aliso's side, so El Toro getting the point.
Serve is going to be by McKellips.
That's Sam Donnelly, and he's unable to keep it in play there, hitting it completely over the net and out of bounds on El Toro's side. Uncharacteristic mistake from Sam there, is not used to seeing that from him. As Billy will dig that one, and interesting flip over the net there as El Toro will recover. And Niskater will dig that one up. A set back to him. An excellent spike there as he whistles that one into an open spot on the floor.
Nice play by Aliso right there. Everything seemed to go well for them right there. And they will get the ball again.
That'll be set to number 22, Andrew McKellips. And he'll rocket that one out of bounds way too far, and Aliso Niguel getting the point with the 5-point cushion now. It's 14-9 in favor of Aliso. A really poor serve that time from Aliso and giving away another point there. Is that one not even close to landing in bounds? Yeah, Maroon taking it again. Billy with the dig. Matt Holy setting it again to Anise Cater. Excellent stuff there from Jacob Trock.
Yeah, one thing that El Toro has been good at is being right there for blocks and stuffs from Aliso's spikes. Sometimes Aliso just had to flip it over instead of a spike because there were two blockers right there.
As Maroon hits that one into the netting, and just like that, it's back to Aliso as the score is 15-11. Aliso keeping a 4-point advantage. As Matt Hawley trying to loft it over the net, but unable to get it there. Some exasperation from both coaches, Nick, is really some mistakes here that, you know, maybe you can blame it on nerves or something else in the first set, but in the second game, really something that neither coach liking to see.
Yeah, we were seeing some improvement from all the silly mistakes that shouldn't be happening in the beginning of the second game, but now we're seeing them again, two serves in a row that were in the net that were giving up points for the other team. That just can't happen for Aliso or El Toro.
We saw a really nice save earlier in this possession as Billy Crow able to get it off the backboard and continue to keep it going. And Aliso Niguel, a nice rally there. And Aliso Niguel will get the point. That's really one of the interesting parts of volleyball, Nick, is that even if it hits the ceiling or hits a skylight or does whatever, it's still in play, which is interesting.
Yeah, I find that very interesting, especially with upraised basketball hoops in play, those are prone to be major factors for the game and the outcome of the game, as the deficit is now cut to 3 by El Toro, while Aliso had a 6-point lead and a 5-point lead consistently throughout the second game.
A really poor job there from Aliso Niguel, losing it out of bounds right away, and you're absolutely right, El Toro coming back, now only down 2, 16-14. As number 15, Jim Leavegood, will take the serve, or excuse me, that was number 19. That's Dispaltro who had served it.
Oh, and Aliso just lets that ball go, thinking it would be out of bounds, but it's a point for El Toro.
Poor decision making by Chandler Latin there, as he was confident that would be ruled out of bounds, but landed inbounds, and Aliso Niguel paying the price for it on that one, only with a 1-point advantage now. We like to see Latin keep that one in play, even if there's a reasonable doubt that it might not be out of bounds. Matt Holy keeping that one alive. We'll set it over to Latin again. And the net foul. So El Toro has come back now to tie Aliso Niguel at 16 in the second period.
Nice display and example of El Toro's setting, blocking in that rally. Multiple instances where Aliso tried to spike the ball, and there were 2 El Toro blockers right there. Aliso couldn't really get anything going.
And we finally saw Jacob Trock really get into the action there, making a couple of monstrous stuffs there at the net. And really, you'd like to see his 6'10" frame really up there a lot more. El Toro kind of adjusting to Aliso Niguel, always having Chandler Latin coming off that win there. They moved Trock over and able to get some better defensive quality going on, and really being helped out by Aliso mistakes as well so far.
Absolutely. Both teams still need to stop making those mistakes. They're really starting to shape how the game is going to...
Yeah, really helping El Toro get back in it here, as it's already tied at 16. Aliso Niguel really does not want to drop this second game, as I would put him in a 2-0 hole. Nice job there from Chandler Latin, as just as I say, Jacob Trock is making a difference on the outside. That one goes right through his arms. Oh, nice play from Aliso Niguel. Good timeout called. And that time Billy will sail that ball out of bounds.
And there's just another mistake by Aliso that's going to tie this game up, and those are some precious points that are going to come back to hurt them when the game comes to a close.
Unable to dig that one there, and Aliso Niguel will be down now. The score 18-17. El Toro with their first lead of this game. As Christian Plummer knocks it over and gets the block. Nice job from Christian Plummer there blocking Andrew McKellep's spike. As we see number 16, Nick Maroon, or excuse me, number 17, Maroon checking in for El Toro. As Plummer lofts that one over to Aliso Niguel, and killed emphatically by Spencer Lane, the 6'6" junior there, getting an excellent look at one right there.
That was a monster of a spike. Don't really see how Aliso could have defended that by number 12, Spencer Lane.
Aliso really lofting a ball, however, that was easy for El Toro to handle. El Toro able to get a good set off of it in return. As Billy digs it, Matt sets it back to Chandler Latin, and now be double touching on number 10, Brett Kirbo. Not really his fault on that one, making the block. The ball stuck between his arms, and had no choice but to try to hit it back up, as no one else could get to it. Aliso will get the point, and we have a tightly contested game again here, Nick, as it's 19-19.
Absolutely. Tried to block, and these Kaard tried to block that spike, but sailed out of bounds after he touched it.
Just off the side of his arm, they're able to get up in the lane, but unable to knock it back over the net. And El Toro will continue to serve here. Sam Donnelly to Matt Holy. That one, Denise Cater's able to get over. An excellent save by McKellips. As the ball back over to Aliso's side. Latin digs over to Cater. Cater with the spike blocked. And Aliso will set up again back to Cater, and this time able to get it through the arms of Spencer Lane. And nice rally there from Aliso Niguel, able to stick with it and get the points. As we thank you all for tuning in here to this first boys volleyball game that's live streamed this year on Aliso Niguel Sports Network. Glad that you can tune in, and hopefully you're enjoying the game. Very tightly contested so far. As that point will go to Aliso, as looks like one of the El Toro players crossed over the line. And Aliso now taking a 1-point lead, 21-20. That ball to 19, Cole Despaltro's spike is blocked. Decatur hitting it back over, set up for Lane. And Lane kills that one emphatically into the corner of the box.
Another great spike by Spencer Lane. He's emerged as one of the key players for El Toro's offense right now.
Yeah, Lane really stepping up here and making a difference, as you said. Really getting a great couple of looks the past couple of minutes and getting El Toro back into this one. Again, El Toro started being down by 6 in this period, giving up 5 straight points originally, as that one's out of bounds. And we continue to come down to the wire here as Aliso Niguel unable to put this one away, and now El Toro back into it as we have a timeout for Aliso Niguel. But yeah, Nick, as we were saying, Spencer Lane, number 22, the junior at 6'6", just really getting into the game in this second period and really making a difference.
It's number 12, Spencer Lane, and yeah, he's been making some great spikes and just being an overall team player, making some digs, I believe. And yeah, that's definitely why they're winning right now, just by 1 point, and that's where it's going to come down to when it's game as close as this.
Absolutely, and Aliso Niguel just needs to make sure to tighten up here and make sure they don't make any stupid mistakes, any just really poor decisions, and really can't afford to lose a point at this point. As El Toro makes a mistake there, as Maroon hits it into the net, and Aliso Niguel will get that free point. Poor job by Maroon there, as all he had to do was get that one over, see if El Toro could win it and keep serve and try to close out on Aliso, but Aliso getting the serve back as Matt Holy will loft it over. That one set up for McKellips in the corner. And that shot by Patrick McKellips, the sophomore, will be too long. Again, the McKellips brothers, Andrew and Patrick. Patrick, the sophomore, and Andrew, the senior. Aliso Niguel nursing a 1-point lead here. As Krohn will spike it, and it is back to a tied game at 23. Now that Aliso has let El Toro back into this one, it seems like every time Aliso has something positive go their way, El Toro is able to respond. It looks like they have the momentum right now.
Absolutely. Aliso Niguel started this game out with a 6-point, 6-0 lead. It seemed like they had a great momentum to build off this game. But it seemed that El Toro could rebound off of that and come back to make it a really close game.
As that was an excellent block there from Denise Cater, and was lucky enough to get the ball bouncing on the line. As Coach Lee from El Toro upset at that call as well. But really a lucky break for Aliso Niguel as they're up 24-23 with the serve. And Aliso Niguel looking to put away this game here. Denise Cater lofts it over. Trog knocks it down to the middle. Billy setting it for Christian Plummer. And Christian Plummer is blocked by Trog. You gotta like that matchup in favor of El Toro if Trog goes up against Plummer, and really Trog having the advantage on everyone, but Christian unable to take advantage of his height and athleticism when Trog is guarding the net.
Yeah, Trog can effortlessly, too many syllables there, but go over the net and block out a spike, and that's what El Toro needs, as we are going to go into a couple of extra points.
The score 25-24, El Toro with the lead, and they just need one more point here to put this match away, or excuse me, this game away. Must win here for Aliso Niguel as Chandler Latin will spike it, and that ball ricocheting off El Toro and out of bounds. So Aliso Niguel living to fight another day as we're tied at 25. Again, it is now win by 2. And this can go on for a while here. Let's see if either team can pull away and really nick the key here, not make a silly mistake now that it's really do or die.
Absolutely. Point for El Toro. El Toro is looking for their 8th straight win in their season right now. It seems like a team like that with that sort of momentum hasn't been making silly mistakes that would cost them points, but it seems like they're making them here right now.
Again, Aliso having to win this point to stay in it. And Christian Plummer will send that one long, and the game goes to El Toro. So Aliso Niguel now down 2-0, and now having to win every single one to stay in this one, as El Toro just needs to put away one more game and they'll win it here tonight. So Aliso Niguel really tough luck here, losing really close games in the first and second periods. Just really almost able to pull it off, but not quite, just almost there. What do they have to really change here in the third game to really come out and try to get back in this one, already down 2-0?
Well, I think it's all about momentum and not making silly mistakes. They started out the game winning 6-0, so they had the advantage there, but they needed to keep the momentum going. And then as they started the game, they weren't making silly mistakes, but as the game progressed, we saw that they were making serves into the net. They were making easy spikes out of bounds, and that's just sacrificing points.
Yeah, maybe getting a little complacent as well, just getting off to an early start. Obviously, El Toro making plenty of mistakes of their own, but you'd like to see Aliso Niguel be able to just hold on to that lead there, but unfortunately they weren't able to, as we have a long intermission here with 2 minutes left to go. We've seen some great play from both sides already, but so far, Nick, I think you'd have to say that Chandler Latin for Aliso Niguel and probably Spencer Lane for El Toro would have to be the standout players so far. What do you think?
Absolutely. Chandler Latin is the obvious contributor for Aliso in their points, and then Spencer Lane with those 2 monstrous spikes and overall contribution to El Toro's team.
Yeah, Lane just able to get his team fired up with those ones, as, yeah, pretty monstrous kills there for him, as El Toro also, Jacob Trock getting in on the action. We think we'd be calling his name a little bit more with, again, 6'10". I know we've said that a couple times tonight, but pretty impressive height for a volleyball player at the high school level, but really hasn't been able to exert his dominance maybe so far, but well, you know, hopefully for Aliso, maybe not in the third period, as, again, Aliso Niguel, this is a must-win. They're down 2-0. It is the best of 5 games, and definitely don't want to let El Toro sweep this one with a 3-0 win, even if they aren't able to pull it out in the end. But Aliso Niguel definitely been in each game, really just coming points away from being up 2-0 now instead of down 2-0. So definitely a possibility here for Aliso Niguel to continue fighting and continue to compete in this one. Hopefully their minds are still in it, however, not getting too discouraged by the fact that, you know, each game from now on is do or die.
Yeah, I think that the key to El Toro's actual winning is their defense against Aliso spiking. I mean, constantly when Aliso jumps up for a spike, there are multiple El Toro defenders right there to block it back. And that's certainly because of their height with Jacob Trock and the other people in the front as well.
So Aliso Niguel again fighting for their lives now, and we'll see if they're able to pull out a couple wins in a row here. So we're almost ready to get underway. So El Toro will start for the serve. That's Nick Maroon, the sophomore, with the service. Billy Crow digging it out to Anise Kader. And Anise with the spike, the ball still alive against the net, but Trock unable to knock that one back up. As Christian Plummer checks in for Sam Donnelly. And Aliso Niguel again winning the first point. Let's see if they can get off to a good start again here in the third game. As Matt Holy will loft it over. Intended for Trock, but that one out of bounds. So point to Aliso Niguel there.
Seems to be starting out like the second game where Aliso is up 2-0 right now.
And Matt Holy continuing to serve. Serves backward this time, and that shot from Brett Kirbo is blocked, and Aliso Niguel now with 3-0. Really, this game, if Aliso Niguel ends up losing, it's not going to be because they were out of it by any means. They were continuing to be very competitive here. It's just some of the silly mistakes that have done them in for the most part. As Trock's shot is blocked once again. As El Toro goes over the net that time. And a 4-0 advantage now.
Matt Holy getting his fourth or fifth serve in a row.
Aliso Niguel can't complain about that. Matt Holy never missing a serve, just tapping over easily. And easy kill right there for Aliso Niguel is another terrible start for El Toro. As we'll have a substitution here as Patrick McKellips will come in for number 19, Cole Desbaltro. Trock getting into the action there. Nice shot by Holy, popping it back up. Kader hitting it over. Calling out there, but it stays in.
El Toro gets their first point of the game.
Popped up from Anise Kader over to Christian Plummer. He'll just hit it with the left hand over. And great job by Trock knocking that one right into the middle of the floor there where Aliso Niguel wasn't able to get a hand on it. Or excuse me, it looks like a foul will be called there on El Toro, so Aliso Niguel will get that point. My apologies. Anise Kader now with the serve, and Aliso Niguel 6-1 advantage. That was a rocket right at Billy Crow, unable to keep it in play from number 11, Patrick McKellips.
McKellips will serve.
That'll be Billy with the dig once again. Christian Plummer's spike will be a little long. Christian's kind of having a little bit of trouble tonight, Nick, of getting his hand on top of that ball and forcing it down where he wants it to go. A lot of his shots sailing on him so far.
Right, he would be expected to be a major contributor for this team, but it seems that he hasn't been that effective lately this entire game for Aliso.
Yeah, I'd say really maybe not getting up to potential. Just maybe one of those off nights. And of course, a lot of the offense going through Chandler Latin anyways. As that serve right into the net from McKellips. Aliso Niguel getting a lucky break there again. Nice start from Aliso Niguel, but only a 3-point advantage now as El Toro is only down 7-4. This setup goes to McKellips on the outside, and that shot will be out of bounds. Or excuse me, that'll be called in favor of Aliso Niguel that time. So El Toro continuing to shave points off this lead. Matt Holy will set it up, and excellent spike there is number 5 from El Toro, JJ Labata, not able to keep that one in. Christian Plummer now with the serve. Looks like he's setting up for a full serve on this one. And he'll serve it right into the net. Unhappy with himself about that one. That's the second time now that he's been unable to convert on that type of serve. So back to El Toro. That'll be Nick Boyd, the other captain, and an excellent serve that time. Billy just able to dig it off the floor.
Yeah,
batted around a couple times there, and Aliso Miguel will not be able to save it.
It must be a frustrating night for Christian Plummer. He seems to be doing most of the things that he's doing wrong. He's now on the bench. Seems to not be contributing as much as he should.
Joins Zambrano back on the floor as he keeps that one in. And nice job by Aliso Miguel. Nice setup offense there, getting a good kill opportunity as Anise Cater will take over for Zambrano. Aliso Miguel with a smaller lineup here as Christian Plummer not in the front three, and excellent serve from Chandler Latin once again. They'll have another go at it.
Aliso with a 3-point lead. Chandler Latin, haven't heard his name pop up this much this game. Kaard, who do you think are the major contributors to Aliso's 3-point lead right now?
It's definitely got to be Chandler, just his overall play. But again, you can't overlook the play of Matt Holy or Billy Crow either. They, although not as tall and definitely don't get as many spikes and really the more visible components of the volleyball game, doing a great job so far, able to keep the ball in play and giving effective setups as we just see them work together on that last one. As Sam Donnelly knocks it up to Holy, over to Cater. And that was an excellent block there from Spencer Lane. Spencer Lane stepping up big again, getting a paw on that one. And Aliso Miguel's lead now down to 1. It is 10-9 here in the third game. Again, this is do or die for Aliso Miguel. If they don't win this game, it is over tonight. Trying to avoid the sweep from El Toro, as that one is knocked into the stands from McKellips, and Aliso Miguel will get the point. A lot of activity at Aliso Miguel's campus tonight, as we also have a home lacrosse game that should be just about wrapping up now. Also setting up for the Battle of the Sexes pep rally tomorrow. A lot of ASB kids and a lot of spirited individuals coming out to help with that tonight. There's an excellent block there for Aliso Miguel, and they're looking to pull away a little bit from El Toro once again. The lead back up to 3.
This is beginning to shape up a lot like last game, where Aliso had a great lead in the beginning, but El Toro started to shave it away.
We'll see if Aliso can continue with this little momentum here. Excellent job there as that one stays in. El Toro thinking that was out of bounds, but hitting the line. That'll be set up for McKellips in the corner. His shot blocked. Almost got Aliso there on the little put over. That will be punched up and out. The point going to Aliso Miguel. Interesting offensive sequence there from El Toro, as they'll call a timeout right here, is really not looking crisp the last couple of possessions, giving Aliso Miguel some easy points. For El Toro, what do they have to do here to kind of right the ship, as they've just given up 5 straight points here, now 14-9, Aliso Miguel?
El Toro needs to do a better job of just communicating and working better as a team. They need to start setting up more spikes for Aliso to handle. The more spikes that Aliso has to deal with, the more chances they have of scoring.
Yeah, and you'd like to see Lane and Trot get on the offense just a little bit more. Haven't really called their name yet so far this game, and really the 2 instrumental factors for El Toro so far haven't really been all there for this game so far. But timeout by Coach Lee, see if they can address that. Looks like we're ready to get back to the game. We're just about the halfway point points-wise here. Excellent block, but ball sails out of bounds. And just as we just said, that was Lane right there on the spike who was able to force that one out of bounds. Interesting here is Lane will check out for Chalk. Nick, you'd think that they'd want to keep both Chalk and Lane in on that front line here trying to put this game away.
Yeah, you would think that the El Toro coaches would want as much size as possible in the front line to keep those great blocks from Aliso's spikes. In my opinion, I would think I would have Lane over Chalk in this situation if they had to choose one with his blocking and spiking put together.
As that's Patrick McKellips unable to keep that one in. And J.J. Labotten will serve it right to Anise Cater. He'll pop it up. Intended for Christian Plummer. And that will go off Chalk and land out of bounds. You think Chalk would be able to influence that shot a little bit more, as it looks like Christian Plummer didn't put all that much on it, and Chalk just let it hit out of bounds right there. But it's easy to spectate on that stuff when you're standing from the sidelines. It's just as I say that, Chalk puts a charge into that one. Good job by Aliso Niguel keeping that one in play. Chandler Latin will go over the line, and looks like a completely mistimed jump there. As Anise Cater will check out for Joy Zambrano. Aliso Niguel holding a 4-point lead here.
Served by McKellips.
Nice shot by Billy Crow getting that one over, and excellent spike there from McKellips. That was Andrew, the senior captain. March Madness update for you guys is number 1 seed Michigan State loses to number 4 seed Louisville. 57 to 44 in the West region.
There have been a lot of upsets in the March Madness so far right now.
Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people's brackets have been really just trashed long ago. I mean, that first weekend with Norfolk State and Lehigh upsets of Missouri and Duke respectively. Been an awesome tournament to watch so far.
Absolutely great. Great, and really don't see that often, that many upsets.
As that one flies over towards us, as Zambrano's not able to keep that one in. Been pretty fun to watch the game over in this corner, Nick, as a lot of spikes directly at us, you know, from the corner. We'll take a beeline right towards us over here, right by the entrance.
Both teams are hitting the ball very hard, and it's great to see that kind of perspective on the ball as they come right towards us. Aliso is up 18-14 right now. Keeping their lead late into the game. I think that may be the key to them winning this game, is keeping their deficit without having El Toro having a rally.
Yeah, they've done an excellent job of not making silly mistakes to let El Toro get back into this, and continuing to execute as Matt Holy elevates and gets a rare block for him on that one. Excellent play for Holy there.
Absolutely, Matt Holy's been sort of the quiet contributor for Aliso this so far. He's had a lot of great serves, and he had that block right there.
Christian Plummer's serve will be out of bounds. Yeah, just an off night for Plummer all around, as he's really not been able to put his mark on this one, and he knows it. Upset with himself, knows he can do better. Aliso Niguel needs to make sure they win this one back here. Billy will dig it out. Over to Latin. Latin's into rocket over. An excellent block at the net, and Aliso Niguel finishing out this game strong so far. And a timeout called from, or excuse me, there's the whistle there. Thought that was a timeout for a second.
Another great block by number 6, Matt Holy, as he gets up there and blocks that spike.
As Latin serve sails way out of bounds. Score 20-16 now. Matt Holy hosted for Anise Cater, and that one going almost right off the face of Nick Maroon, the libero there, the sophomore at 5'10", unable to handle it.
Yeah, it seemed like
gets the point.
He wasn't even trying to rally that one. He was just trying to protect himself. That was a rocket of a shot.
Yeah, well-placed shot by Cater, absolutely. Anise has been doing a good job so far tonight. Worried earlier that he might have sustained a little knee injury on a spill, but shook it off and coming back, and that time Aliso Niguel able to drop it in, and El Toro unable to do anything with it, and it's 22-16 now. Aliso Niguel looks to have this one fairly in hand.
They just need to have 3 more points, and they'll have this wrapped up to be losing in the set 2-1.
And another out-of-bounds serve there for Aliso Niguel. Of really all the things that haven't gone Aliso's way, services have been the main factor for giving away free points, as both ones into the net and out of bounds here from Aliso throughout all 3 games. Great dig from El Toro there as Trock trying to tap it over, and great job by McKellips able to get there and keep that one in. Another save from McKellips. Over to Anise Cater in the corner. Popped up from McKellips again. Back over to the side. That's number 11, McKellips, Patrick McKellips, and his shot will be stuffed. So Aliso Niguel earning another point as Christian Plummer will check in for Sam Donnelly.
Great rally by both teams that time. At one point, the ball hit the roof and El Toro had to relay it over the net.
Got a couple instances in years past before here in the Wolverine Gym where a ball will just get knocked up with such force that it'll go through a ceiling panel and get stuck up in the rafters.
Aliso's home gym, not really high ceiling compared to other high schools in this area. Must be hard to adapt to that for visiting volleyball teams.
And Trock that time will keep the points for El Toro. 5 points down now is El Toro. Nice job there by El Toro keeping it in that time as 2 players go for it, and number 5, J.J. LeBon knocks it away when McKellips saying, hey, I would have got that one, but neither of them able to connect that time. At least going to go 1 point away from putting this game away and avoiding the sweep. And that will do it. That one out of bounds on off El Toro. And Aliso Niguel coming back and getting the win that time. So, Nick, if you had to choose one thing in that 3rd game, what did Aliso Niguel really execute on that made them able to hold on to that early advantage that they pulled out to once again and get the win this time?
I think they leveled out their contributions to the team. I mean, you didn't have just that one kid making the points for the team. It was more widespread, and they're communicating more, and they just kept the momentum as they didn't do in the first 2 games.
Exactly, yeah. Aliso Niguel would get a great start, get a good running lead over El Toro, and then a couple silly mistakes here and there in the first 2 games. Really saw that momentum switch back to El Toro. Great job for Aliso Niguel keeping it on their side this time as we have a 3-minute intermission here between the periods. If you're Coach Don Pedro on the Aliso Niguel huddle right now, what would you be telling your team? What do you guys got to work on to continue to do to come back in this one? Obviously, still having to play for your life here as El Toro just needs one more win to put this one away tonight.
I think what I would say is keep the momentum on your side. Start out the game like you did the past 2 games where you were up 6-0 or 5-0 in those 2 games, but then keep that lead and don't have the momentum switch to the other side.
Well, again, we thank you for tuning in to our broadcast here on the Aliso Niguel Sports Network. We hope you're enjoying our volleyball broadcast tonight. We're trying to make sure that we get out to all the home games for volleyball, but our schedule is still to be determined. Make sure to log on to Facebook and follow us, facebook.com/AN Sports Network. You can like us, keep up to date with our schedules, post replays, news articles, stuff like that on there if you want to keep up to date with Aliso Niguel Sports. Also, DVDs of this season will be available for sale from the Aliso Niguel Sports Network, as we are a 100% student-run organization that rely on often money out of our own pockets and donations from student body funds to run here, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd be interested in supporting us. You can order a DVD by shooting us an email at alisoniguelsportsnetwork@gmail.com, or if you have any other questions or comments for us, feel free to shoot us an email. So we're here tonight with cameraman Nathan On, producer Rob Krohn, and camera woman Yasmine, and of course Nick Vincent alongside Kaard Bombe tonight.
As we're looking to get going on this fourth game, El Toro up 2-1.
So yeah, again, another do-or-die game for Aliso Niguel, and they really came out and showed that intensity in the third game. Able to really hold off El Toro, and El Toro didn't do themselves any favors either. Really not able to get into the groove last time, but again, Aliso Niguel still having to win this one.
Matt Holy is going to serve right now. Let's see if he keeps up his dominance since last game with his blocks and serves. Those really contributed to Aliso's win.
Excellent spike there for El Toro. That was Nick Boyd, the captain. That'll be JJ Lobaton on the serve. And blocked by Trock. Point award to Aliso Niguel, however, that one will be out of bounds.
Serve will be by Anise Cater, number 7.
Set up for McKellips on the outside, but the block will be out of bounds, and El Toro getting possession again.
Great defense by Aliso Niguel on that spike, but unfortunately the block went out of bounds. It's great to see these two teams seem to be very evenly matched. Makes for an interesting game. It'll be really interesting to see how they match up in the league later this season.
Is that one all the way back off the back wall, and once it touches that back wall, it is assumed to be out of play, as that one will go El Toro's way that time. Another crazy one up in the rafters, up off the basketball hoop.
El Toro up 3-1.
Oh, we've seen a different start this time from Aliso, not getting off to a really big early advantage. I think, Nick, that's partly because of El Toro just playing a little bit more calmly, not making those mistakes.
Absolutely. As Aliso gets that point right there, cuts the deficit to 1. But Aliso, yeah, El Toro hasn't been making mistakes, such as muffing up serves, and neither has Aliso really. They've both been playing really good these past 5 points, except for right there on that serve. Sails out of bounds. They rarely can't happen. El Toro gets a lead 4-2.
Yeah, when you're playing for your life here in these do-or-die games, now that losing the first 2 can't afford those mistakes, just as we've been saying all night. That's something that I'm sure the Aliso Niguel coaching staff is going to have a long look on as they rewatch this game film, as a lot of opportunities for Aliso Niguel wasted by mistakes that shouldn't be happening a couple weeks into the season.
Christian Plummer about to serve.
See if Christian Plummer can keep the serve in bounds, having a little bit of a tough go of it tonight so far.
Let's see if he doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. It seems like he's been doing that this game, where you can obviously see his frustration, and you have to wonder if that's affecting his playing ability.
Made a great adjustment on that one. Instead of going for the jump serve, just taps it over lightly, and Aliso Niguel will get the point there, as the spike by El Toro is out of bounds.
Score is evened up 4-4. Aliso seems to be having a rally from their 2-point deficit.
There's Christian Plummer, another nice serve right over the net. Nice tip down from El Toro. Matt Holy saving it out into El Toro's bench, or excuse me, onto the Aliso bench, and the ball will continue to be in play. Nice job by Matt Holy. As Chandler Latin, the rocket, number 5, JJ LeBon, had nothing else to do with that one except put his hands up and let that one ricochet all the way up into the top row of the stands. Really a nice job by Chandler Latin.
Really a nice job from the entire Aliso team, especially Matt Holy running into the Aliso bench to save the point. If it weren't for him, then that would have been an El Toro point, and then finishing it up with the spike that was unguardable. Great point for Aliso. They're up by 2 points, 6-4 right now.
Christian Palmer, another serve. Stalemate at the top of the net. It will fall down to Aliso Nagel, back over to Chandler Latin, and that block will be out of bounds as Spencer Lane unable to keep it in play. Again, Aliso Nagel now working very effectively, increasing their lead to 3, score 7-4. Got ball over to McKellips, and McKellips airmailing it. And a timeout by Coach Lee. So another lackluster start for El Toro, even though Aliso Nagel not getting off to its customary big advantage at the start of the period. They've been able to pull to a 4-point lead now at 8-4. Again, Aliso really working effectively. What has been the biggest thing that has let them come out to this lead so far?
Well, they were down 2-4, and now they are scored 6 points in a row. It is now 8-4 Aliso. So I think they've been putting a lot of effort into saving the points, because now they know they really matter when it comes to when the score gets into the 20s.
Yeah, and of course this is another elimination game, as they have been since Aliso Nagel lost the first 2. And yeah, you're right, a couple of the games they look back on and losing in overtime 27-25 or losing by 2, 25-23, really look back earlier and say, hey, like, could have won those points back, maybe could have been a different outcome so far. And really those first 2 games could have been going either way.
Absolutely. Number 8 hits the roof, and it's blocked by Spencer Lane. Great block by Spencer Lane, using his height to swat down the spike. Stops the scoring deficit from El Toro as they'll get the ball back. Nick Boyd, the captain, serves.
We really haven't seen one player really just dominate the game for El Toro. It's just been in bits and spurts. Trock will come up big, and then McKellips will make a nice play, and then Lane will come up huge on a spike or a block, but really haven't seen too much consistency overall from El Toro. And not that Aliso Nagel is doing such a better job, but it's overall just doing more consistent of a job, with Chandler Latin continuously making some nice plays on the offensive side of things, and Aliso Nagel getting some nice play from Anise Cater and Billy Crow, as well as Matt Holy. It's starting to show here in the past couple of sets, as that was a monster spike there from the senior Andrew McKellips.
Right. In the first couple of games, we were just looking towards maybe a couple of players on Aliso, but now they've been more spread out in their contribution to the points scored for Aliso.
As Holy sets up Anise Cater, who will lob it over. McKellips again. Sam Donnelly lofted up. And point loss there for Aliso. The lead now down to 2. Holy with the set over to Cater. That ball right on the line. Excellent spike by Anise Cater. They're getting up in a laser accuracy there right onto the side of the floor. Lead back up to 3. It is 10-7. And that's little McKellips, Patrick McKellips, the sophomore there on the other side, getting the kill. Back and forth play here from Aliso and El Toro really evened out, as both teams going back and forth with great play on both sides.
After Aliso's 6-point run, seems to be very even in the scoring, just back and forth as each term serves to another to get a point.
Trock with the nice service over, but saved by Aliso Nagel. I'll sell it McKellips once again. Back to Cater. And that shot will be high. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Just as you were saying, it's both serve versus serve. There hasn't been really any runs going on now for after Aliso Niguel pulled off 6 straight. Really has equalized as we have a foul called there on Aliso Niguel, and it's all tied up at 10-10. And a timeout there from Aliso Niguel. So El Toro really leveling off this game here as they were able to recover from a 6-point run from Aliso Niguel and tie it up now at 10-10. What's been the key for them to not give up on this game here and come back?
Well, I think that in the beginning of the game, they weren't doing what they were doing before to score points, was to block Aliso's spikes and then make some spikes of their own. I think they've been doing a great job of that to cut the deficit of 6.
Yeah, really just consistent play all around from El Toro. That hasn't really been the case so far, as we have individual people popping up, making good plays, and then fading away. This game doing a lot better job of that as Chandler Latin will pop it up, and Billy will set up Kader, and Anise Kader, a nice kill. We've seen Anise really step up big for Aliso Niguel over this 4th game.
Yeah, he's been making a lot of spikes and blocks for Aliso. He's just been there in the front. Great asset to the team as another serve to the net to tie the game up.
This one looking like it's going to continue to go down to the wire, and we're tied at 11. Still a lot more to go in this game, however, as Billy digs that one up. And Kader will loft it over. Not quite sure what was called there, but it looks like it'll be a foul on El Toro. And Aliso Niguel will get the point and keep serve. Shot blocked there. As Billy will set up Latin. Tipped out of bounds by Trock, and Aliso Niguel doing a good job on the offensive side of things, continuing to move the ball around, attack at different angles, and now getting Anise Kader involved in the offense along with Latin, and the lead back up to 2. Trock will tap that one over the outstretched Aliso defender's arms, just as Plummer will do here. An excellent job from Christian Plummer, just dropping that one in over Trock's outstretched arms, finding that little hole in the floor.
Multiple El Toro defenders trying to get the dig from and save from that ball, but that was perfect placement, and it was not. He didn't make it easy for the El Toro defenders to make it.
And right back at you there, says El Toro, as McKellips does the exact same thing to Aliso. Really interesting how this entire game we've seen nothing but heavy-handed spikes with trying to get as much energy, as much speed on them as possible, and now both teams seeing that getting the defenders off their feet really is creating an opportunity for them to drop one in behind. As Christian Plummer goes for it again on that one. Sets up McKellips. Excellent save there from Zambrano. And Latin will hit it back over. Pop back up. Billy Crow to Latin. That one blocked right down to the floor by Jacob Trock, staying in play. Really just a fun game to watch here, Nick, as both sides really staying away from the mistakes so far in this 4th game and really just playing great volleyball.
Absolutely. They're just, it's always great to watch when a game goes back and forth this much. Keeps the suspense up, keeps the crowd going, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as we are from the broadcasting booth.
That's another excellent spike there by Latin, and once again, Lobatin over there on the side just puts his hands up, unable to do anything with it. Comes at him a little bit too fast and unable to keep it in play. That one set up for McKellips and over Holy's outstretched arms there. And point back to El Toro. Aliso Niguel winning by 1 now, 15-14.
Serve to be by number 3.
That's John Marone there, the sophomore. Looks like we're waiting on some clarification here. Looks like a wet spot on the floor there that they're checking out, but looks like it's okay. Make sure the floor is dry. Don't want any knee or ankle injuries.
John Marone, sophomore on the team, along with his brother, Nick Marone, who's the libero of the team. Both are 5'10". As Nick Marone will come in.
That was Patrick McKellips there trying to keep that one in play, unable to do so. You can tell the McKellips brothers that they're related from a mile away. Just little versions of each other. Interesting to have a couple of sets of brothers on this El Toro team.
It's interesting to see how they work together as well with their chemistry with the other team and with themselves. And I think that would make them have better teamwork as well. It's Christian Plummer, number 2. Up to set, serve.
We've seen a really excellent adjustment from Christian Plummer as Anise Cater will stuff that one there. Or excuse me, that wasn't Anise. My apologies. But as I was saying, Christian Plummer making an excellent adjustment as earlier in this game he was going for the more ambitious jump serves and he hit one in the net. One time he had a line violation stepping on the boundary. Another time just airmailed it, so he said forget it, I'm just going to go simple here. He was able to consistently serve very effectively now that he's gone to just a simple tap, as that one is killed by McKellips.
Aliso has scored a lot more when Christian Plummer just serves and taps it over the net than when he tries to power it over, making those mistakes of not putting it out where he wants it to go.
On the other hand, however, when Christian Plummer's serve is on, it is very powerful indeed, able to get a lot of momentum on it, obviously, and very strong athlete Christian is. Just one of those nights that everything isn't working out. Aliso Miguel getting that point there as it's inbounds, or excuse me, out of bounds, just by an inch. And a 19-15 lead now for Aliso.
Beginning to get to the close of this game. Let's see if Aliso can keep a lead so they can have a comfortable cushion going into the 23 and 24 spots.
That's Lane poking it over for El Toro. Holy will set up Cater. Cater blocked, nice save by Latin. Back to Cater. And Anise Cater really picking it up here in the last couple of games. That's another excellent spike there.
He's been constantly putting pressure on the El Toro defense to make a play and make a block, and he's definitely become a greater asset to Aliso that way.
That time with the block, but unable to get it over the net. Let's see if El Toro can try to come back here and close out the night, as they're only down by 4 now. They scored 20-16. You think that it'll be easier for El Toro to close out here and put the game away.
They did all the hard work in the first 2 games. Seems like getting the last game would be a simple task for them to end the night and go home on the bus with a win, as they're slowly shaving their lead to a 3-point, to their loss deficit to a 3-point, 20-17 Aliso.
Excellent kill there from McKellips. Again, McKellips has stepped up here for El Toro throughout the night when they've needed a big play. On back to Cater, and excellent job from Anise Cater there as 2 defenders converge on him, as Lane and Kerbo trying to get up there to block it, and takes advantage of that opening in the middle of the court and just knocks it down. And El Toro back down by 4. Coach Lee upset at his squad that they haven't been able to put Aliso Niguel away here. That'll be an amazing comeback for the Wolverines if they're able to force a 5th game and then pull it out. Definitely something that El Toro looking at why did we let this happen, as they're 3 points away now from losing this 4th game. Set up for McKellips there. Nice save from Aliso, and poor set there from Sam Donnelly as he gets it way too close to the net for an East skater to do anything with.
Really need to get more better sets from Aliso to have some opportunities to spike the ball, or at least tap it into the into a hole in the El Toro defense. That seems to be a key factor into this game for this scoring and points. We've seen a shift from most of the spiking and power earlier in the first 3 games to a lot more placement and soft hits.
That time it was an East skater once again. That ball going off McKellips and out of bounds. Aliso 2 points away from closing out this 4th game. 23-19 now. Nice job by Trock there, getting up and putting that one in a nice spot. Nick, I wonder why El Toro hasn't gone to that play more often, as it looks like every time they set up Trock, he's able to get a good look and force something into the middle of the floor, as Aliso Niguel focusing on the wings outside.
It's something to ask about. I mean, using Trock's size seems to be the key factor for them scoring points consistently. Sort of a head scratcher about why Coach Lee won't implement Trock into their offense more.
So Aliso Niguel 1 point away here now from coming back and tying the matches tonight. Lee skater lofting over the serve. And the double touch from El Toro. El Toro really not able to execute on their last 2 opportunities to put Aliso Niguel away, and we're tied now at 2-2.
Amazing comeback by Aliso in these last 2 games to even out the set score. Has to be frustrating for the El Toro squad. I mean, to be ahead and only to have to win 1 more with Aliso's 3. Be very interesting to see what the next game.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is definitely going to be a competitive 5th game. Again, do or die for both teams. It's the best out of 5, so of course the winner has to take 3. Not really a surprise, however, Nick, that Aliso Niguel was able to come back in the 3rd and 4th game and really put some runs together, put some good offense together. As again, remember how close the first 2 were. Aliso Niguel just unlucky they weren't able to pull those one out as it was. And then in the 3rd and 4th, really able to play their game, get some more offense going. Anise Cater really stepping up in the last 2 games on the offensive side of things, and everything really going Aliso's way as they're able to come back and tie it here. So if you had to say one thing for Aliso Niguel, what do they have to continue to do now in the 5th game to really pull this win out for Aliso?
Continue to have your squad just work together. Anise Cater coming out as a great asset to the team and contributor to the win. And then just the sets and serves all around. They need to have better sets for their spikes to have more opportunities to get a point.
So Aliso Niguel needing to pull out this win in Game 5 to seal the win tonight. And you can say the same for El Toro, is unable to close out in the first 2 opportunities they've had. See if they're going to be able to execute in this 5th game now. They seem a little bit tired and dejected after losing the last 2, where Aliso Niguel has all the momentum. We have a couple substitutions here before the start of the 5th, as Lane will check out for El Toro, will be replaced by Maroon. And Maroon's serve will fly by, and Billy Krohn lets it go out of bounds. Aliso Niguel with the first point of the 5th match.
Tough to get that momentum starting the game out this way with a bad serve.
Back over to El Toro, that's McKellips, and he'll have a clean line of attack there as Christian Plummer is the only Aliso Niguel defender in the area. Great job by Patrick McKellips there, getting an excellent kill.
See a serve by El Toro, number 5, Labotin.
Pop back up for Cater. And the foul called down on East. It looks like he stepped out of bounds. Or excuse me, that's on El Toro. My apologies. And East Cater will now be serving for Aliso Niguel. Kind of hard to tell sometimes which way those officiating calls are going from over here.
Not sure what the call was of the foul anyways. Great stuff by number 2, Christian Plummer.
Nice job there from Plummer. Is really the first time tonight where he's felt really into the game, and see if this is able to kind of spark him here in the 5th to start contributing a little bit more.
Served by Anise Cater.
And the block there on Trock's shot. You'd think that Trock at 6'10" would just be able to tower over everyone to the point where his shot would consistently be over everyone's outstretched arms, but really not the case tonight. You'd think that he'd be, quite honestly, a little bit more effective at his height.
He would need to read that as well. If he sees a blocker there, maybe spiking isn't the best way to go, and maybe he needs to lob it where there's a hole in the defense.
Yeah, we've seen some success from both teams so far tonight. As Chandler Latin is blocked, and a foul on Aliso, so El Toro getting that point. Aliso's up 4-2.
We're going to see a serve here by number 11, McKellips.
Back over to Latin and deflected off Chalk's arm. Latin will kill it. Chandler Latin just continuously having great plays throughout the night. Really consistent play, Nick, as we haven't seen him just catch on fire and then disappear. Just really there for Aliso Niguel throughout the entire game.
He's been there the entire time, the entire games for Aliso Niguel. There he is again with another point for Aliso Niguel. Seemed to be almost out of bounds, but called for Aliso. They're up 6-2.
And that was a tip off of Patrick McKellips, it looks like, as Aliso Niguel will get that point. And yeah, Aliso Niguel up 6-2 early. Great start once again from the Wolverines, as we've seen in the last couple of games. Getting out to a good start, really free of errors and penalties so far from Aliso Niguel. The opposite could be said of El Toro. What do they have to do here to get back on track and avoid losing the last 3 to lose the game tonight?
Well, they obviously have to get their serves in order, and then, like you said, get those mistakes and errors out like Aliso did. It seems to be the contributing, or the outlying factor right now in Aliso's 6-2 win right now.
As Billy looks like he'll be taking the first serve. Aliso Niguel wanting to continue to push this lead. Not make any mistakes as well. As Billy serves it over. That'll be McKellips on the outside. His shot will be blocked out of bounds. McKellips, another nice play on the outside. A serve into the net there from John Maroon.
Another mistake by El Toro, giving Aliso another 4-point lead, 7-3. We're going to see a serve by number 2 Plummer.
I don't think it's been surprising that Aliso Niguel has come back and competed in these last 3 games, but I think what is surprising is El Toro hasn't been able to keep it very close. Chandler Latin was able to save it inbounds there.
El Toro's spark of faith for winning this their first games were because they were able to keep their deficit close in the late parts of the game, but now in the past games that Aliso have won, they seem to have a pretty good cushion coming into the late parts of the game, so we'll see if they do that this game as well.
Nice shot from Matt Holy, getting a hand on that one as Chandler Latin once again. That ball looks like it bounced off the El Toro player's head. Couldn't quite tell. Is another timeout from El Toro, and you can't blame him here as this game continues to slip out of their fingers. Winning the first two and now losing the last two. Already down 9-3. El Toro really starting to tailspin here so far. And we've really seen some excellent play from Aliso Niguel as well to kind of help power that lead. But maybe out of all the players that have contributed to Aliso Niguel, who has been the contributing factor to be able to rise above and start winning these games?
It's got to be Chandler Latin. I mean, he's been consistently scoring for Aliso. Can't blame Coach Lee for calling these numerous timeouts. I mean, he has to get his El Toro team in order, to win these games and get some points. They're already down by 6.
Yeah, we've really seen El Toro kind of look dejected, kind of tired, and not really into the game, where Aliso having all the momentum, just looking like they're into it, trying to execute this comeback here as we get back to the game. McKillop's a rocket, and Aliso Niguel now getting the bounces as well. That one off. Joey Zambrano just went into the corner of the floor, and El Toro unable to recover and pick it up. 7-point lead for Aliso Niguel, the largest of the night throughout any game.
The morale, like you were saying, Kaard, about the El Toro team, it just deflated, whereas the Aliso Niguel team, they have a spark of enthusiasm, and that's making them play and get all these points. As well as the crowd too, they started chanting their "I believe that we will win" chant. Aliso is up 11-3.
An excellent play there from Matt Holy. Matt Holy only at 5'9", 5'10". Really wouldn't expect him to be able to get up and block a shot from Andrew McKellips. Andrew McKellips is 6'3", but excellent job there. Able to stick up a hand and knock down right back down. McKellips not expecting it at all and just falling to the floor. Another Aliso Niguel block, and all the momentum going Aliso Niguel's way. Already 12-3 now as Coach Lee and El Toro just look on in despair, wondering what they can do here to get themselves kick-started and try to get back in this one.
See Captain Nick Boyd get frustrated, showing his anger. As a captain, he needs to not let his emotions get the best of him and then be a team player and get his team back into this.
As McKellips coming up again with a nice kill on the outside. Finally something going for El Toro here. Like to see that enthusiasm from the players as they need to spark the rest of this El Toro team. Try to get back in this one as Boyd will serve it here. El Toro really can't afford any mistakes here, and Boyd gives him a good serve. Unable to save that one, however, that's Patrick McKellips making a stomach first dive over there near the stands.
Nice effort by Patrick McKellips, but unfortunately it didn't go over the net as he intended. Served by Aliso Niguel by Latin.
That one out of bounds, however. Aliso Niguel losing their serve. Let's see if that plays into a comeback here from El Toro. They could really use a run right now. Down 8, 13-5 Aliso.
Another silly mistake by El Toro by McKellips.
And McKellips just has to know better on that one. As senior captain, you got to just get the ball inside the box. You can't afford to hit one out or do anything fancy. You just got to get it in play. Instead, giving Aliso Niguel another point here. Let's see if Aliso Niguel can continue to put this one away. As that one's out of bounds from Spencer Lane. And we have another El Toro timeout called here, and rightfully so.
that is a game. Aliso wins 15-5. As in the last game, the score limit is 15. Must be frustrating for El Toro for this game as they start shaking hands. To lose by 10 in the last game by winning with 2 games in the first 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, after winning those first 2 and having all the momentum in the world, like, it has to be incredibly disheartening for El Toro to not walk out of here with a victory. But you got to hand it to Aliso Niguel, really doing a great job of coming back, getting that momentum back on their side, and just pulling through, eliminating their mistakes. Again, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/AN Sports Network, and you can keep up to date with there. So that's it, everyone, for cameraman Nathan On and camerawoman Yasmine, producer Rob Krohn, and my partner Nick Vincent. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Aliso Niguel boys volleyball pulling out the 3-2 victory, excuse me. And again, we will be back soon with another game. Until then, go Wolverines, and we'll see you soon.